So you want to know what it means to be an effective flanker or lurker. First, we gotta understand the similarities and differences between flanking and lurking. It's kind of like all squares are rectangles, but not every rectangle is a square. Flanking essentially means getting behind the enemy, and you can generally do this alone or with your teammates. Lurking can also mean getting behind the enemy, but it's more of a one-person operation where you act as the lone wolf, sneaking into weak points in the enemy's defense to catch them off guard.
Wait, wait, team.
Jet low. 5
Now, both are very useful for getting picks, but they're also a good way of gathering both information and map control. With that being said, let's cover flanking first. Firstly, you need to know when you should flank. It's hard to just start pushing a part of the map without knowing where any of the enemies are, right? So you need to gather information. You can do this by jiggling, using your abilities, or just listening to your teammates. Check this out. I don't hear anything in A lobby, so I push up a little bit and jiggle to see if they're just waiting there or if they're even there at all. I don't see anybody, and I hear a lot of commotion on the other side of the map, which tells me that they're probably ending C. This is my cue to flank.
Just ult.
Wait, I'm behind them.
Oh god, mid. One mid.
I got him.
Nice.
Nice. I have ult. Wait for my ult.
On me. This corner, pink.
Yeah, he's on the
Corner.
I love Omen, but what if you're not Omen? Here's where we get into the how you should flank. Timing is a big factor. Oftentimes, I see players taking too long or running a little too early and end up ruining their flank when they're in prime flanking positions. You don't want to give up this advantage because you're too slow or impatient, so make sure to stay conscious of your noise. The radar you're provided shows you how loud you're being, and you can use this to get an idea of when you can start running and when you should be walking. You can see here that I'm running pretty confidently since I know that the enemy is too focused on fighting the sight guns. Stay calm and use the element of surprise to your advantage.
bring in the pain. Oh, nice. Left. Nice. On the right.
Now let's talk lurking. Unlike other tactical shooters like Counter-Strike, each player on the team generally has a set role, meaning that it's not ideal for, let's say, the initiators to be the lurks. I'd argue that duelists who have a more selfish set of utilities or an easy means of escape are best suited to be lurkers. So what does lurking entail? Like we talked about earlier, you separate yourself from your team and play like the lone wolf. You sneak into areas undetected, and this gives your team a massive advantage in a couple of ways. You can relay a ton of information, especially on where the enemies are and how many. Or, you can have the potential to get a surprise pick on an unsuspecting player, which not only gives your team the man advantage, but also gives your team space, map control, and time. Imagine trying to hold a site, but you can't focus on where to look because the lurker could be anywhere. Now, as the lurker, you've done your job. The longer you stay alive, just being annoying and having presence can seriously delay the enemy, which can be really valuable, especially in the post plan. In conclusion, both flanking and lurking are very effective methods of gaining information and map control, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it's something that you can pull off perfectly every round. Eventually, the enemy will catch on and become more aware. So get out there and practice. Let me know if you learned something new, and I'll see you in the next one.
Nice.